Hey, what's up? I got some more lore content for you guys. For this one, I wanted to cover some decks that are a good mix of fun, but also strong for climbing this patch. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. That way you have a good understanding of what's strong, whether you want to play the best decks themselves or if you want to know how to counter them. Let's see what these strong decks are, shall we? Welcome to Meta Report. And we'll be starting with a deck that you've probably seen around. It is quite popular. It is Viego Elder Dragon Mordekaiser. Coming in with a win rate of 50.05% and a play rate of 4.85%, it is very popular. Its best matchups include Akshan Morg, Vayne Aatrox Morg, Jax Ornn, and also Ryze. Its worst matchups are Teemo Yuumi Elusives, Zed Gnar Elusives, Kennen Ahri Elder, and also Nora PNZ. The main theme of the deck is very similar to Mordekaiser Morgana, where it wants to spend the early turns basically developing tokens, and then using those tokens as like Hate Spike, or also Death Grass targets, slowing down the opponent's strategy as it tries to pan out a mid-game finish. So starting us off, we have Wings and Wave, of course for the same reason as in Morgana Mord, we want to set this up and then use it as a Hate Spike target. Then we have Cease the Sentry, another great target that also draws us a card. Fading Icon, which is a 3-1 really strong unit in the early game, we can block with it, and then also summons a token for our targets. Glimpse Beyond to cash in our target, basically getting a +2, or using it as a response to removal. Hate Spike, here's our first kill spell. We target one of our allies, so any of our like 0-1s, and then we get to kill it while dealing 3 to an opposing unit. And next we have Soul Harvest, 2 mana slow speed spell, kill a follower with 3 or less power, or you can spend 3 mana to kill a champion with 3 or less power. Really good to keep those early developments down. Next we have Triple Thread the Needle, 2 mana fast speed spell, kill an ally to deal damage equal to its power to an enemy. So we're going to want to be using this on some of our deathless allies, that way we can get the resummon effect while dealing a big amount of damage to an opposing unit. Next we have Camivorn Soldier. This is going to be ramping Viego and is also a pretty good deathless target, or if we just hit this with Mordekaiser then we start like turbo ramping Viego and it gets a little out of control. Encroaching Mists are really good. So it's a 3/3/3, it says, when I'm summoned, summon a mist. The Mist says whenever I'm summoned, grant all allied Viegos everywhere and also Encroaching Mist +1/+1, so it's going to be double dipping on the ramp. Next we have Death Grasp as another kill spell. Legion of the Severed coming in to grant Deathless to something in our hand. We have lots of good targets, just like with Morgana Mordekaiser. We're going to be granting something Deathless that we're going to play in the mid game, and then getting double dip value on with their on summon effects, or with like Mordekaiser. Bonus points if you hit Viego with this, by the way. Then it gets a little out of control because you're going to have multiple Viegos on the board. Next we have Double Vengeance, again really good single target removal, keep the opponent's strategy down. And then we have Viego. So this is one of the decks that can actually level him pretty consistently. Deathless Viego is super sick because when you kill him, he sees his previous form die, so he's going to ramp up in power. It's not truly like a reset like sometimes it can be, but for the most part it should be pretty consistent to level him and even be on multiple leveled Viegos at a time. If he levels, he is probably the single hardest champion in the game to try to play through, next to Aurelion Sol. They're both very strong when they're level 2. Round start, steal the strongest enemy this round, or if it's a champion, kill it instead. So it's really difficult if one or, God forbid, 2 Viegos are developed on the board. You're just going to have your stuff stolen, and then they're going to use that as like Hate Spike target, or Glimpse Beyond to refill. And then you're going to also lose your champions if your champions are stronger, so it's just kinda doomed. Next we have Hydravine to keep the Viego ramping and also the Encroaching Mist. Sometimes you can come up with a win con just playing through multiple Hydravines. And then we have Mordekaiser, our other champion. We should be super familiar with what he does. Really good with deathless stuff, really good with on summon effects. If he levels, of course, we're also going to drain and be really annoying. Next we have one Rekindler, another good deathless target. Again, just super good at getting out multiple champions. We can get the Viego, we can get the Mordekaiser if he dies, we can be on multiple of those, and it's just kind of strong. And finally we have one Elder Dragon, so basically we are also going to be getting boons on both of our champions, our Viego and our Mord. So Viego coming down with Deathless himself, or with Challenger, or just like anything else, is really scary, especially if you consider the fact that Viego could be coming down on a Hate Spiked Husk. So Viego could be like fearsome naturally, right, from his own card, and then also hit an elusive Husk, or maybe even a Spell Shield Husk, and then also get like double impact or get Challenger, just all kinds of crazy stuff from the boons. Same with Hydravine and same with Rekindler. The boon value is just really good. Since we are basically playing mono SI anyways, we don't really care about our second region, so one Elder giving us extra stats, extra keywords, just goes such a long way. And that's it for the deck rundown. Now here's a live commentary game so you can see how the deck plays out. I'll be giving context to why I'm playing certain cards, and hopefully it gives you a good feel on how to play the deck. And for the example game, we're going to be fighting Karma Set. We have Viego in early hand, Sentry, Soul Harvest. I like Soul Harvest. It's pretty good into some of their early stuff. We can obviously pitch the Elder. We don't want to draw him. Just keep him in the deck for the boons. Alright, Vengeance is good for Set. Soul Harvest is going to be for like the 3-4 or something. That's pretty high value because we can kill even like their 4-drops. We can kill the clock as well with this. Alright, we're on a lot of draw. Miriam, okay. Let's go ahead and play Cease the Sentry. We mayhaps take the trade if they block as well. Because we're going to want to find Legion of the Severed to give Viego Deathless. And we're going to want to find Chemoborn Soldier. It's really good to play this card on attack 3 as well, to be honest. Oh, we got both! How to actually call Legion of the Severed and Chemoborn back to back. That's super good. So, do we want to use this Encroaching Mist offensively or defensively this game? That's something that's going to have to come up as, you know, a talking point. I think this game we want to use it on attack turn, and then play Legion of the Severed on defense turn for Viego. We can play that on defense 4. But I think if we're fighting like an aggro matchup, like let's say Jhin Annie or anything else that's like more on the aggressive side, we'd probably play Encroaching Mist on defense turn.
Your wickedness shall not prosper.
Alright. Viego's already a 7-6, which is good. Yeah, that's obviously going to hit face. I do not care about 1 damage. Legion of the Severed Viego. And then we have 2 mana for anything else. What else are you going to play? Formula. Alright, makes sense. Draw, refill spell mana. That's it. You're going to burn 1. Okay. Sounds good to me. Turn 5. We just have a bunch of removal, it seems. I don't think I want to play below Vengeance, though, because of the set. This mayhaps just be an open attack with my 4-2. I don't know if I want to sack my 3-1 either. And just see what they do, right? I want them to play first, so that we can play reactive. If they play below 5, then I'm going to play Sentry. If they play Set, I'm going to Vengeance. Karma, that's also a Vengeance. I'm not going to try Hate Spike here. Obviously, Hate Spike would be fantastic. However, they have spell mana to respond to my removal. They can use Mystic Shot to interact with the Hate Spike and negate it, so I do not want that to happen. This is also a tell, by the way. If they play a Karma right there on 5, that means they have another Karma in hand, so let's just keep that in mind. That means their first Karma is expendable and they don't care what happens to it. Let's go ahead and play Viego on 6. I don't think there's anything stopping us from doing that, right? Set? I don't really care if Set comes down, I don't believe. Viego, let's get him impact twice, because why? Fearsome? He's already fearsome.
The whole world will know my anguish.
Don't have, like, Hexbliterator. Okay, Tag Out makes sense. Tag Out makes sense. That also removes the Deathless, which is kind of annoying. Recall and Stun are, like, super strong into us, so I think Ionia is, like, a natural counter. But maybe we can just keep up the pressure, we'll see. We can play right back into him. Challenger or Tough? I think Tough is probably better in this particular matchup.
I do this for her, for us.
Watch them just be on another recall and just spend like 2 turns doing that. It's not bad. That's honestly like optimal for them. Here it comes, ready? Ionia is very fun, by the way. Oh, no, they're gonna do it. Oh, no? Maybe they do it during combat, we'll see. So we're shipping out 15. They gotta have something here. Oh! Liminal Guardian. Okay.
Real good
Cool.
to see you.
That is fine, though. A little bit of a good habit to attack with Viego on the far right, so if things die during combat, he grows. Just a nice little thing that I did here. Yeah, we're down. Down for that. All good. Keep growing, Viego. Grow strong. And him having Tough is awesome because then PNZ removal, has a harder time dealing with him. Run off keywords. Yeah, they're going to want to shoot him next turn, which is fine. Because we can use Glimpse Beyond to give him a +1. Ah, there's Mord as well. I wish this was a Deathless Viego. Rocket Barrage, and Mystic. So just all inning this right here. So Rocket Barrage is going to deal 4. This is going to deal 2. Oh, that sucks. That means even if I did do Glimpse here, Viego would still die, huh? So our actual best bet is Glimpse the Viego because we cannot save him. And then try to find Rekindler. I think that'd be best. Nopify, so I can't get any cards out of it either. That's kind of rude. That is just kind of rude at the end of the day now, isn't it? Am I playing Naked Mord? Yeah. I'm not going to play Ceaseless. I'm going to go ahead and do a Naked Mord. Put Ocean Soul because he already has Challenger, so Cloud's useless. And then we're going to play Hydravine. And give Hydravine +1/+1 or Challenger. Probably +1/+1. Even though it already has the Fearsome, I care more about the stats than Challenger on this thing. We have Challenger Mord, so that's like good enough. Place your bets. Resolve. I'm threatening lethal, so they have to play a champion here or some kind of like stall card, right? This is exact lethal. So you cannot get away with just, like, playing a champ. Right, okay. Sure. Man, this is kind of annoying, I think. But we can deal with Karma. Aftershock? Yeah, another thing that I can't really stop. Hey, but our Mordekaiser's ramping up those evolution points. Love to see that. There's the Karma.
Peace begins within.
So this is going to be a pretty simple start. We just thread the needle 4-4-5-4. See if we get another Nopify. They may have coined first, and I think that would have been better for them. That way they could be on deny, just in case. All right, and then obviously we're just going to whip that out again, right? Just run it back. So that is now 2 Nopifies that they have had in their pockets. Go ahead and respawn the Encroaching Mist, which is kind of cool. And then, not sure what else they are planning. Coin? Yeah, I'd like for them to play a unit, actually, because I want to kill the Sentry. No, they're not playing a unit. Sure. Alright. Gamavorin. Place your bets. Sure. I mean, I have more removal. I don't even care. Concussive is fine. Let's go ahead and do Hate Spike 2-1-3-2. That way we get a draw here. And we're going to resurrect our Sentry. We could also do, like, Hate Spike Camavorin, and that's kind of nifty. Funnily enough, we might actually kill our own Camavorin with Soul Harvest, because it's going to spawn more ghouls. But I just don't know, like, how well we can threaten lethal, essentially. So I'm going to do this first to, like, draw a card. Maybe we top deck another Viego or Hydravine. I think that's just better. Concussive. Sure. See? There's Viego. That's nifty. I think we play the Viego here, too. It's going to be on the Husk. We have lethal. We have lethal, like, no matter how we do this. I really like this idea, though. I don't know why this is just cooler to me. I don't think it's guaranteed lethal to do that. But, like, you know how sick it'd be to, like, Soul Harvest our own soldier, just get more miss? We're just gonna do this. Let's not get too crazy or anything, right? We have a guaranteed lethal. Let's just go for it. But that possibility was there, and I think that's really interesting.
She waits for me beyond the mist, my queen.
And our Viego is just massive. Yep, there we go. Nice and easy, even through turn 10, even through Karma level. And for the next deck, we have my personal favorite, Jhin Annie. Coming in with a win rate of 55.02% and a play rate of 3.7%, it is the aggro deck to play. Its best matchups include a Karmaset Freljord, Voli Elder, Rise, and also Teemo Kate. Its worst matchups are variations of Jinx Discard, Garen Elder, and Karma Seraphine Set. So I've covered Jhin Annie a few times recently, however for this one I want to have a pretty fresh take and show you guys my personal climbing version that has Ravenborn Tome. This is the aggro combo burn deck to play if you enjoy that playstyle. We're going to be playing a bunch of skills that deal direct damage to the enemy face and also double casting them with Ravenborn Tome. So we have Annie coming in with an attack skill, really good. She's basically like a 2-2 with quick attack if you think of it like that, only while she's attacking because she has a strong skill. She levels up if she's seen you play 6 fast speed spells, slow speed spells, or skills. This can include like the Jhin one, all kinds of good stuff. And then she will be leveled up where she has a better attack skill, and also you get Tibbers in hand, which has another skill, is fearsome, does a bunch of damage, and can commit a big tempo swing for you. Next we have Crackshot Corsair as a 1/1/1 with an extra skill that deals direct damage to the enemy face. We love that since we're trying to burn them down. Legion Saboteur kind of doing the same thing as a 2/1, her own attack skill also whittling down the opponent. Demolitionist coming in as a finisher in some games, 2/2/2, deal 1 to an ally, deal 2 to the enemy nexus. We're not trying to play this card on 2, we're trying to play it later to top off some damage to finish out the game. Next we have Ravenborn Tome, so this is the spicy card that I've been enjoying quite a lot. It says, when my bearer plays a skill, copy it. So this will be Annie double casting, this can be Saboteur for extra damage, this can be Mana Soul Student as a bench unit just popping more shots, or you can put it on Jhin, and that's where things get really crazy. So Jhin can start double casting Lotus Trap, so 2 stuns a turn from his passive, and also 2 Deadly Flourishes, or holy moly, dare I say, 2 Curtain Calls in one go. So really strong card. In a lot of matchups where you can get away with this, you basically get to snowball the game completely out of control and the opponent can't really do anything about it. You just have to be very mindful when to put this card on a unit, when to invest the 2 mana, and when it's safe to do so. Next we have Solaris Sunhawk coming in with stuns. We're going to be abusing stun skills as well so that the opponent can't block us. Another stun card, very good, Stagehand 2/4/2, really good, especially on attack turns, since we are attacking with a strong, aggressively statted Ephemeral. Next we have Tusk Speaker, another aggressively statted unit that has an aggressive keyword and direct damage skill. Mana Soul Student we're going to be putting on the bench, and then just popping skills while he adds to the fire, right, with his magic embers. Really good at just popping some extra shots and stacking up the Annie and also Jhin level ups. Next we have Fervor as a finisher card, or we can use this as a response to removal, as long as it's safe to do so, and get 3 damage where we can. And next we have Pirouette, which is really good because we get to deal damage pretty often to the enemy nexus, allowing us to plunder this card, and we can deal 1 to something, stun something else. Really good synergy since we are stunning. This is super sick if we have Jhin on the board, because then we get like multi-stuns off with just a few cards, and it makes it really hard for the opponent to block. Next we are running Captive Greyback, a skill unit that you may not have seen before. This is a really good card with Tome, and it's also good with Telsi, which, spoiler alert, we're also running. So 4/2/3 with Overwhelm. Attack Call, I deal 3 damage to my blocker. If it's dead or gone, I deal 3 damage to the enemy nexus instead. So just like Annie, but like a bit stronger, and he also has Overwhelm. So it's pretty hard for the opponent to block this guy. If we double cast this skill, we're just getting in so much damage that we normally wouldn't. So Ravenborn Tome, really good on this guy. And next we have Jhin doing a whole bunch of stuff, allowing us to put skill units from every region into our deck. So we have a bunch of units from everywhere, Targon, Ionia, Noxus of course, all kinds of crazy stuff. While he's in hand, every single time you play 3 fast speed spells, slow speed spells, or skills, he will also deal 1 extra damage to the enemy nexus, so it's really important to have him in your opening hand. That way you're popping shots over the course of the game. Also, that will turbo level him, makes him a lot faster. And if he's on the board, instead of just dealing 1 to the enemy nexus, he'll do that while also stunning the weakest enemy. Super good if you can stack a bunch of skills back to back to back and get multi-stuns off. When he attacks, he will also deal 2 to all stun enemies, so if you stun like 3 things, he will just kind of like AoE board clear and help you get out of control. When he levels, his attack skill becomes deal 4 damage to stunned enemies and also the enemy nexus, so really strong, especially when we are double casting this with Ravenborn Tome. That's 8 direct damage. Really strong finisher. And next we have Telsi. Telsi's doing kind of the same thing as Tome, but like to a lesser degree. She's a 5/5 body, which is really good. She curves, and also she has synergy with the Legion Saboteur, Annie, Greyback, and Jhin. So there's some situations that I've been in where I have Jhin with Tome on him, and I also play Telsi on attack 5, and then Jhin can do like 3 curtain calls, which is just absolutely insane. It's like the highest potential like ceiling of damage that you can hit. It's so cool when you pull it off though. She's just like a good body overall and has good synergy with the deck, so I go ahead and run her at a quick 2 of. What really sucks is that she doesn't work with Crackshot Corsair. I kind of hope they like patch that or make it work, because then she'll be even stronger. But for now, just a pretty good 2 of to have the attack synergy here. And to round us out, we have Augmented Experimenter. That is a skill that dumps your hand to draw 3 new cards. This is really good if he's the last card in your hand, so you discard none, but also get to find some finisher cards like Fervor, or like a Jhin if you need him to close out the game with his Lotus Trap or Attack Call. So really, really good to just refill. And that's it for the deck rundown. This has been my personal favorite version of Jhin Annie. Recently, I used it to climb to Master on my Jhin Annie only account, and I've played solely this version for a couple months now, so I can abide by it. I can confirm, very, very good deck. So here's a live commentary game so you can see how it plays out. And for this example game, we're going to be fighting Poro King Targon. Pretty strong deck. They basically just spam a bunch of Poros and swarm. So we have Annie, we have the Tome, we have Tuskbeaker, and we have Sunhawk. Honestly, this is a perfectly keepable hand. The only card that we could get rid of is the Tuskbeaker, since we're going to play Annie on 1, the Ravenborn Tome on 2, and then Sunhawk on attack 3. So there's no real room for Tuskbeaker to be played in the first few turns. So we can go ahead and get rid of him. Yeah, maybe we hit Donnie. Donnie's good in case we don't want to play Sunhawk. Or if we drew Jhin, obviously that would have been best. So that's a pretty good mulligan. We're going to commit the Ravenborn Tome to the Annie, because in this matchup, it's pretty safe to do so. They don't have a lot of removal. I think they could run Sunburst, and they run Falling Star maybe. So we should be okay. For the most part, they want to spend their mana developing Poros, and then also the snacks. So we're just going to basically race and try to push a bunch of skill damage. Herder, yep. We have Tome. That way, Herder cannot block Annie, putting us in a really good spot already. This makes me want to develop the Donnie on 3 instead of the Sunhawk, because we don't really need to stun this guy. Top deck Jhin, ready? Right now. Okay, never mind. That's all good. So we're going to save double stun for attack 5. We'll do Sunhawk first and then Stagehand. So for this turn, we're going to play Donnie.
Donnie, wanna play with Tippers?
Okay, that sounds like fun.
We can also set up a second Donnie on defense 4, and we're just going to pop so many shots into the opponent's Nexus that they're going to die without realizing it. And also Annie's going to level, so that gives us a turn 6 play. Hush, interesting. So no attack skill this turn. Ah, smart. That does stall us out a little bit. Doesn't do a whole lot though, right? So we're just not going to attack. We don't want to attack with our Donnie either, because that's a bench unit. We want to keep him back. Hush is kind of like delaying the inevitable. But honestly, pretty good for them. Pretty good. Jubilant Poro created an elusive one. Alright. Telsi. Telsi's pretty cool. We're not going to play her this game, though. We're going to go ahead and do Donnie.
Donnie, wanna play with Tippers?
Okay, that sounds like fun.
Then they attack with these. That makes sense. Pass. We don't want to do any blocks. So we're going to lead the turn with Sunhawk because it's Daybreak. We have to do that first. And then we can play another Donnie. Or we can play Stagehand in case we need a second stun this turn, which I don't think we will need. We could save Stagehand for next turn and just play Donnie here. It's going to be kind of sick. That's also 3 damage a turn if we develop all these. Every single time we play a skill. Kind of insane.
Donnie, wanna play with Tippers?
Okay, that sounds like fun.
Like, this is a little ridiculous. I do wish we had the Jhin in hand because we'd be seeing some, like, fireworks. Like, actually, 4th of July on this board here. But Donnie might be enough to do that, too. We can go ahead and attack with 1-2 for sure. I think 2-3 can also go in because it doesn't have a bad trade.
Cool, no embers.
I wanna play a game of hide and
So we are going to get the Annie level on attack 5. Going to double cast her level 1 skill. And then we're going to have Tibbers for defense. Bonk. I mean, this is kind of ridiculous, right? Very odd hand. I don't think I've played out a triple Donnie development, like, ever. And I've played this deck, like, 1,000 something times. Direct damage to the Nexus. Yeah, no, I think actually, like, Telsey's Sabo would be better, but I think I need to play a skill this turn. Okay, what are you doing? You sending it? What are you doing, mate? We're gonna want to set up for like a big Tibbers. Okay, they could be on double snacks. So let's just keep that in mind. And block like a... here. And then if they do double snacks, I'm going to take an extra 6. That leaves me with 1. They could be on double snacks pale, and then that's a lethal, so I can't be doing all that. It mayhaps better to just block like here. And I guess that's it. Because now if they do double snack, I only take an additional 2 damage. No, an additional 4. I don't know if my math is serving me properly, but I know that this is probably more correct. So let's go ahead and do this. I don't want to sacrifice Annie to, like, Targon Tellstones or Pale Cascade. Go ahead and also do a Tibbers play, targeting the elusive. This will also force 2 snacks if they're on 2 snacks. It's pushing 3 damage to the face. And executing the herder. If they want to keep their Daring Portal, they're going to have to commit double snack to it. Okay, they do not have, I guess. They don't have a fearsome blocker either, so you gotta come up with something. Is it Poro King or Snack or what? They have to come up with something. That's the thing about this. Because I'm just gonna full send this. Poro. Stories. Alright. It's fine by me. Lucky. Daring. Stabled. Ah, a lifesteal Poro. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that just interesting, my friends? Let's go ahead and do Stagehand on the 2-1. It's kind of hard for them to play from this position because now I'm going to be up on attackers and they can't develop anything without replacing. That's really bad for them, especially replacing a Deathless lifesteal. Ah, interesting. That's a big commitment. They're going to have to spend that too if they want to block with it. Seems like that's the play. Alright. So we're going to attack with Annie. And we're going to attack with the Tibbers. And then we're going to attack with the Stagehand.
We'll make this right.
And we're probably going to Fervor Face, if I had to guess. Pretty sure that's going to be the play. We can Fervor cheat whatever this lifesteal blocks, except for the Tibbers.
You've gone and spoke them.
So if it's Snack, then they'll block here. Ah, if it's Snack and they block here. Oh, if they don't have Snack, this is really good for us, actually. Fervor here and here. And then that's -4. That's a good spot to be at. Let's do that. Let us just go ahead and do that then. That's interesting. Very different way to play Jhin Annie than normal. But I do like the tome. The tome helped a lot, obviously, with the double casting Annie. And for the final deck, we have a personal creation of mine that I built like a week and a half ago. A lot of viewers have been asking me to make a video about it. This is Tristana Elder Dragon. It does not have a win rate or like stats or anything that I can show because, again, it's like my personal deck. But it does have like a 70% personal win rate with me. And I've been using it to climb on a 3rd Smurf account. So yeah, it's been doing really, really well. I would recommend it, especially if you want something like new and spicy, or if you just really like Tristana and like the swarming impact kind of play style that Vandal City offers. So the idea spawned on me one day. I was playing Tristana Burn, you know, Fae Burn, and I was like, you know what? What if we just played like Tristana and stuff, and then also Elder Dragon? And Elder's really cool because it gives boons to Bandle Gunners, which was a very strong card before it got nerfed. But like putting a boon on it, especially the impact, is kind of insane because it can be impact 5 on one singular card. And we're spamming multi-region units to like turbo this thing down, so we're kind of abusing it in the same way as you would Wiggly Burblefish or also the Plaza Guardian. So I kind of like took that idea and threw it in here too. This is my second or third iteration of the list. This one does have Yordles and Arms. It didn't used to. It used to be only unit focused. That way we can outplay Suppression because we don't like really care. But with this deck, I mean, we can play Yordles and Arms sometimes, so it's really sick. It's just a go wide swarm zoo playstyle. So we have Protoporo doing that. We care about multi-region to discount Bandle Gunners and also level Trist. It's a 1/1 with impact, very good damage early. And then we have Teemo 1/1 with Elusive. He's also multi-region. We care about that. The puff caps are kind of cool. Sometimes we get that in, but for the most part, we just want the extra 1 attacker. And now we have Bandle Commando 2/1/2 Elusive Nexus Strike, create a Hungry Owlcat in hand. Hungry Owlcat is the strongest engine that we have access to for this deck because the Owlcats are multi-region, they're cheap, and they also have spell shields, so they're really good attackers or blockers. Especially since we can buff them in different ways as well, with Tristana and also Grandfather Fae. Next we have Blast Cone Seedling, which is another multi-region unit, 2/2/2. Give me Barrier this round, so you want to use this on defense, especially against aggressive matchups, that way you can deter their attacks, or you can grant me impact permanently, which is really good for aggressive swinging. Next we have Grandfather Fae, 2/1/2. This is a Hungry Owlcat generator and also a buffer. When I'm summoned, create Hungry Owlcat in hand. When you summon another Fae, grant it 1/0. So this is going to be a 3/1. If Tristana's on the board, it's going to be a 4/1. If you have 2 Grandfather Faes on the board, also a 4/1. That's nice. He also includes himself, so you can play like Grandfather into Grandfather, and that's going to be, you know, buffing the other Grandfather, and then double buffing Owlcat. Really good. A little side note, the Blast Cone Seedling, also a Fae, so you can get this guy up too. Really, really strong synergy. Really good core engine we're playing around. Next we have Grumble Slug as a 2/2/3 with a tune. Really nice at getting you extra spell mana, so you can play the Yordles and Arms pretty cheaply later. Is multi-region, super good. Next we have 1 Portal Pioneer, 2/1/1 with a tune. Pick an Explorer spell to create in hand. Really, really solid at getting some tech cards. It's only a 1 of right now. I used to run it at 2, but we didn't really need it since our Bandle City Mare can also generate Pioneers, or Explorers. So we only need to run this at 1 of, and then we have tech cards depending on the matchup. And next we have Bandle City Mare, another very strong part of our engine. It is a 3-mana 2/3. It says each round, the first multi-region unit you play costs 1 less. So we can play Hungry Owlcat for free, or we can play something else for just like a 1-mana discount, and that helps a lot. So we can squeeze in more units with our mana, cheat the cost a little bit, while also leveling Trist, and getting our Bandle Gunners discounted. And then also on play, manifest a multi-region follower. You're going to see the Explorers quite a lot, like I mentioned, but you can also find some pretty cool stuff to play in the mid-game, like Shark Trainer. Next we have Tristana. She's a 3/1/3 with quick attack and impact. She says, I have 1 attack for each multi-region ally you've summoned this game, so she can come down as like a 7 attack dude. Pretty nice. When you summon a multi-region ally, also grant it +1/+0, so really good at swarming. Level up, you've summoned 5+ multi-region allies. So you're going to want to play Tristana already leveled in most of your games. However, there are some times against certain matchups where you can play her level 1 and then try to get like wide buffs and you care about that more. But for the most part, yeah, you want to play her when she's already leveled because her 4 HP matters a lot, so she doesn't get hit by everything like Hate Spike and Aftershock and things like that. And then also she grants your multi-region allies impact on top of the buffs that she's already doing. So super good card. And next we have Wandering Shepherd, which is a multi-region that also puts a weapon on something. So we can do like Scout on Tristana, we can give her Overwhelm as well, or we can put something like Shepherd's Authority on one of our elusives, and that's also super good. So just like a pretty strong card overall. If the weapon dies, you can always re-equip the weapon too, so you can have something later. Just overall, really good utility card, getting you some extra keywords. And next we have 1 of Gnar. Gnar's in here as another multi-region unit, and then we get Pokestick, which helps us draw. He can level and be like a big overwhelm dude, which is super nice, especially if we put like a scout weapon on him. He gets buffed by Trist, and that's kind of cool as well. So yeah, just in here is like a pretty strong turn 4 play. Next we have Tenor, another really good card. When I'm summoned, if you've played a created card or killed a unit with a spell this game, summon Base of Burden. Base is a 3/1 with impact. It's a 1/3 with impact by itself, so lots of stats split on 2 bodies, double impact, which is really cool. If you have Tristana down, you're buffing them both. They're getting more impact if she's at level 2. Just absolutely insane. This is double discount for gunners. Really, really good card. The caveat is you need to play like one of your Hungry Owlcats or like an Explorer spell or something, or kill something with like Tristana spell or Pokey in order to get the summon. So just pay attention to when you can play Tenor. You need to make sure you've played a created card first, and then you're good to go. And next we have Yordles and Arms, which is going to come up as a mid-game win con. If we have a bunch of dudes on the board, especially some elusive ones or Hungry Owlcats, then we just give them +2/+2. For the most part, we're going to be hitting the 3/3 pretty easily as long as you're playing your multi-region dudes. And then you're going to be having a big swarm lethal. And then getting into the mid game, we have Enraged Fire Spitter for a little bit of damage reach. Really nice when the opponent goes down to 2. Especially when we have a bunch of impact, it's really easy to whittle the opponent's Nexus down. Fire Spitter is going to come in with a boon. It's going to come in and deal 2 damage to the enemy Nexus. Really, really strong. And we can also put Overwhelm Weapon on this from Shepherd, which is kind of insane. Next we have Sign In, another good supporter of our go wide strategy, just like Yordles and Arms. We develop a bunch of dudes, and then we draw 2 more. It's really nice if we draw into Bandle Gunners, because they can be cheap, like 1 mana or even free, and then we can play those as well. Get a bunch of impact, get a bunch of boons, and then swing for lethals with Sign In. Speaking of Bandle Gunners, we want to get this down to like 2 mana, 1 mana, or free, and then play it, get the impact 3. The best boons on this are the Hextech one, so we get even more impact. The Deathless one is really good. The Fearsome one is really good into Formidables, and the Challenger one is also very good. So yeah, we want to play multiple gunners and basically run over the game with them. And then 1 Elder, of course, for all the boons. We're not really playing Elder or leveling him. We can. I actually leveled him recently in one of my ranked games, so that's really, really cool. It does come up once in a blue moon. But yeah, for the most part, we just care about the boons as per usual. And that's it for the deck rundown. Now here's a live commentary game so you can see how it plays out. And for this example game, we have an absolutely just crazy like clown fiesta going on. They're playing 5 champs, I'm playing 4 champs. No one knows what's going on, but this is probably just like elusives? Probably elusives, but also... Oh, they're just playing a bunch of Yordles. I think they just like Yordles. That's probably what it is. Protoporo, Seedling, Trist, Sign-In. So we have a pretty good hand as well. We're attacking on even, so Sign-In's like actually kind of keepable. We have a 1-drop, 2-drop. We can play Tristana in this matchup, maybe. I don't think she's going to get Aftershocked, but if she does, I don't know. So be it. We're just going to curve. We care a lot about just playing units right on the turn that they can be played, and not really caring about spell mana, so if we can curve 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, we're kind of happy. We are kind of just happy with that. We're going to play Blastcone Seedling on turn 2 as an impact unit, unless we top deck Grandfather Fey or something. Another Proto. We can play that on turn 5. Seedling, impact. Because we're being aggressive. This is a pretty nasty curve, though. We should be able to beat down, like, most decks with this. Oh, interesting. Alright, we're only going to attack with 2/2. That way our 1/1 does not die for free and they get future value. We're just going to threaten an even trade here. And then they're going to be forced to spend that 3 mana on Darkness on something if they desire. So this could actually be closer to like a Nora Vagar control deck then, since they are running some Darkness units. So maybe it's not elusives. This can kind of go like a bunch of different directions, as per usual with like Yordle stuff. Okay. Yeah, I kind of want to play Tristan to Gnar. Like, I think that's just a good power curve. Even better would probably be like Bandle City Mare, Proto this turn, and then Gnar. And then we'll get a Tristana level going pretty quickly after that. Let's also grab Octo Adventure. That way we have an elusive blocker in case they start playing elusives. And we can also turn off keywords. But yeah, I want to make sure the Mare lives this turn. And then play Proto. Okay, this is interesting. They could have Pytos, right? I think we might just take this, to be honest. Just take 4? Yeah. I want to play my aggressive stats. I don't want to take any of this, and I don't want to threaten my Mare. Mare dies so easily to Bandle City pings or Mystic Shots. So we can just go ahead and curve like I originally wanted. Play Gnar on attack 4. He's going to be 1 mana cheaper because of Mare discount. And then swing, we can get a Pokey Stick, maybe Gnar level because of impact going in. Just play for the board. Let's go Gnar. Nara could also force a response like Darkness plus Pi right now. And then that's kind of it for their turn. Ooh, Catalyzer. Send, send. I want to send these, but man, they're even worse now. They're actually getting worse. So let's just go ahead. Actually, you know what? We're going to get a Poke Stick out of it. Let's send them. Let's just send them. If they want to do double value trades, 3-2 and 2-2 into my 1-1, so be it. Alright. We're just going to Pokey the Catalyzer. It's not really a big deal. Because my Nar seems to be living this attack. Ah, Portal. Okay, cool. It's funny how we got like a crazy Bandle City Mirror match for this, by the way. I've not seen this before. Oh, and they got Mare. That's actually kind of an insane one. Alright, this is gonna be yeah, this is gonna be a game for the books. Pressing backpack, don't care. I don't know, if I die to shrooms because of sign in, I guess it's just meant to be, right? That's a lot of impact damage. So we are getting the Gnar level. It's going to target the Catalyzer, which kind of sucks. But like, whatever. They only have 5 mana to work with. They may have just Darkness my Mayor. Oh, hello, Tenor. If I played a created card, I guess I will. Poke Stick, huh? There's the Darkness. I'm going to respond with Pokey. And then play Trist. And then next turn we pop off. Play Trist. Like, we basically just set up 2, 3, 4, 5, and then have really strong turn 6 and turn 7 with this deck. Let's do a Blast Cone Seedling with Impact. Like, look how disgusting we're about to get, and how quickly we're about to get that disgusting. Because we're going to play Tenor, right? And that's 1 action, 2 dudes with like a bunch of attack stats and a bunch of impacts. And yeah, they can respond with Darkness if they want, but oh, what are you doing? They're also going down on the board. Yo, chill. Yo. Yo. I'll trade that. I'm going to get first action discount. They just lost a blocker. This only puts us ahead. Alright. Sounds good to me. We do Tenor. Got our discount. Now they're going to Darkness something, and then we're going to Weapon, and then we win the game. Like, how crazy is this amount of impact? This is 5 attack overwhelm, 3 impact, 4 impact, 5, 6, 7, 8 impact damage. Like, what? Like, what? It's just so crazy on attack 6. And that's it for this week's decks. Extra shout out to the patrons on screen. Much love and thank you for supporting. So yeah, to wrap things up, I wanted to update you guys on what Viego is doing nowadays, since the deck is quite popular, while also covering what I've been playing and enjoying. This has been Meta Report. Thank you so much for watching and have a good one. Laters.